Alright, guys. I don't know if you guys fuck with the University of Michigan like that, but I don't. Ever since J.J. McCarthy took all my money because I bet that he would be a good pick and not a bust, and he got injured for his first year, and the second year I was like, this is the fucking guy, and he came back and he fucking sucked. But, anyways, apparently the University of Michigan isn't at its root a fucking terrible university because UMich just pulled off probably one of the greatest side quests in college history. And I'm saying that as a Berkeley student, which is crazy, right? So, a quick fucking rundown of this is that the University of Michigan put about $20 million into OpenAI early and now stands to walk away with roughly $2 billion, which is crazy for a fucking multitude of reasons. Like, how the hell did the University of Michigan get into that round before even fucking Microsoft? But and how did it get like this? I don't know. I'm not great at math, but that's got to be like 100x, right? But yeah, what the actual fuck, you miss? Like, respect gained again. JJ McCarthy made you fall a bit in my eyes, but fucking respect gained. Because I have not won anything this big in blackjack in fucking Texas or anything in life at all. 20 million to 2 billion? Come on. But now that I think of it, fuck. Because now they're going to have so much money for NIL and they're going to. Fuck. Alright, whatever. But, alright, let's just talk about this a little more. So apparently, this all got reviewed during the Elon Musk versus OpenAI trial, where they had to reveal documents that showed like who the early OpenAI investors were, and the University of Michigan's endowment was on there with $20 million in a fundraising round when OpenAI was still like this weird non-profit AI lab thing, like before everyone was using ChatGPT type shit. So when OpenAI's valuation right now pushing above 850 billion, maybe like a trillion soon, Michigan expects a return of around $2 billion, which is roughly like a 10,000% gain on paper. Structurally, though, their stake gets cashed out before Microsoft due to the preference stack. Honestly, not really sure what that means. I'm guessing that means they got in earlier than Microsoft, which is fucking insane. So the school basically bought in when ChatGPT was like fucking. They can be one of the people who are like, yo, I was listening to you when you were sub 1,000 streams and not be bullshitting. That's fucking insane for this random ass, not random ass, for JJ McCarthy's fucking alma mater. So let's just talk about for a second the crazy part. How the fuck did UMich get into a round with Casa Ventures, Reid Hoffman, and Y Combinator? So basically, the University of Michigan and all big schools at this point, like I think Yale started this. Basically, all big schools, big colleges have a long-term piggy bank of money to use, right? Like this comes from donations or investments. We can afford buildings and coaches fund, right? Most of it goes into stocks, bonds, funds, just normal, like these schools at this point run like a normal portfolio with portfolio managers to make a little more money off it, to grow their money like anyone else would. Obviously their pie's a little bigger than most people, but yeah, a small slice of their pie actually goes into riskier stuff like venture capital, which is unusual to say the least, but not, I guess, unheard of. Like, normally they invest as a limited partner in VC funds, not directly into startups, like in this case. And I mean, but also On the other hand, we wouldn't have known without these court documents. So maybe it happens a lot. Who knows, right? But apparently this has happened before, right? So near SF in the Bay Area, apparently there was a Catholic high school back in the day that put a tiny stake into Snapchat before its IPO and walked away with around $24 million, which is, reading that sentence is fucking crazy because a Catholic high school put money into a VC fund, but a Catholic high school really put money into a sexting app like early on and made money. What the fuck? That's good. That's like hilarious actually. But yeah, some elite universities have private equity, hedge funds, venture capital allocations that, like I said, they're basically mini Wall Street portfolios. Because like colleges at this point have Wall Street money. It does seem kind of crazy though that universities are basically hedge funds, but like schools, increasingly behave like investment funds with a side hustle in education. Like I'm paying $81,000 for tuition, but I've talked about that. Fuck Berkeley, fuck California, but some people say these schools are businesses. I don't think so, but I guess they are. But what is crazy to me though, I could be okay with the thought that I'm paying $81,000 of tuition so that another transfer student or someone on scholarship could like study here for free. But at this point, I'm realizing I'm paying $81,000 in tuition so some dude fucking sitting high up in the finance office of the University of California is fucking betting my money into random startup stocks like Snapchat or like OpenAI, which I don't know if I'm super okay with that. But then again, I don't think I have much power in or say in that. So yeah, I guess. But let's get back to the open AI thing. So the reason all of this is happening is because there's a lawsuit between Elon Musk and versus OpenAI and Sam Altman over whether OpenAI betrayed its non-profit mission and original pact. And basically the answer is yeah, it probably did. It runs mostly as a business now, not really as a non-profit. Elon's mad about that. Sam Altman's like fucking probably gonna get removed soon. Yeah, so apparently Greg Brockman allegedly wrote that turning OpenAI into a for-profit without Elon would be pretty morally bankrupt, and they did it anyways, which is weird because like they knew the pivot would be ethically weird. They knew Elon, fucking one of the earliest guys before the University of Michigan actually, would not like it, but fucking yeah. And when Sam questioned it, the board member basically just so basically during this period when OpenAI was a nonprofit and they're trying to switch into a business, Sam Altman was basically almost getting fired, or I guess he did get fired, and he asked in a group chat directionally, where is this going? And the board members just said, directionally, very bad. So yeah, I feel like that describes where it is right now too. It's basically corporate equivalent of, yeah, you're fucking cooked, get out of here. So I guess the ethics question here is that the original pitch of OpenAI was that it was founded as a non-profit mission to build safe AGI for humanity, and no shareholder capture, no AI for businesses, or any of that. They just wanted to build AI, and it just wanted to build it in a way where the AI wouldn't come back and kill us all. Just very normal things that I hope these people are doing. And donors, including Elon Musk, the guy suing Sam for this, thought they were funding this research lab for like a good cause, not a future megacorp of what it is right now. And later, when they create a for-profit OpenAI LP under the non-profit umbrella with capped returns for investors, some people will get mad because when you turn a nonprofit with a good cause into a for-profit, even if you make a lot of money, if you're starting off with a lot of money like Elon, you're like, maybe at some point it's not about the money, you know? But, I guess, I don't know, personally, I would take the money. But I'm also not Elon, so here's the moral dilemma of it all. If you donate to a charity and it, like, quietly uses that money and spins up a money printer, does that betray the mission? Or what if they use that money printer to do the mission of, like, whatever it is? Is that good or bad? I'm not really sure. Is UMich part of the problem here? Is UMich the villain? I don't think so, but they're obviously in a very beneficial point in this fucking pivot to for profit, right? So what does this mean for University of Michigan specifically, right? So that's the big question here. 9,900% return. Michigan's endowment is already massive. A 2 billion win, though, is still going to be a huge chunk, right? Where's that $2 billion going to go? Probably, any other school, financial aid, research, buildings, faculty, athletics, NIL collectives. Fuck. Yeah. Like, as academics, I'm not saying I'm an academic, but like academics would probably hope that a top university would put that money back into education, but it will probably go into football, or basketball. They just won a national title in men's college basketball, so yeah, we're gonna be seeing the UMich for some time now if they cash out, which is like fuck, cause fuck UMich. Fuck JJ McCarthy. Fuck the Minnesota Vikings. Actually, I love Jay Jettas, but like, oh my god, you know what I mean here, right? I guess another moral dilemma of the entire thing, like, if we look at the big picture here, should universities really be taking these bets? We could go into this being like, it's a public university, it should be serving its state. But like, let's just look at it from a micro standpoint here. Most early VC style bets go to zero, and by most I don't mean like 70%. I mean like 99%. I live in the Bay. Like, fucking 99% of the startups here don't survive past like 2 years. OpenAI did, and that's not because like. And that's because they had brilliant people there, but sometimes even brilliant people doesn't get you anywhere. But like, if 1 in 100 works like this, and the others are dead money tied up in illiquid startups, are universities, especially public ones, supposed to be doing this? Like, aren't they supposed to be conservative stewards of public tax money? Or like, instead of like fucking hedge funds? Like, do I want my school's financial future riding on fucking AI startups, crypto exchanges, and just like the stock market? I mean, from my perspective, I pay tuition and other people are in debt, while to an institution that just gambles, I don't know, something about it just feels like a little off here. So I don't know, going back to the entire thing, like, how did we get here? We got here from this court case with Elon Musk versus OpenAI. So what happens if Musk wins big here? So hypothetically, what will probably happen is there's probably going to be more strict governance changes, where you can't just go from nonprofit to for-profit willy-nilly, and probably a restructuring of OpenAI's for-profit arm, which could impact investor returns, including UMich, which I don't hope so, but like, I don't want to see UMich ever again. And if OpenAI wins, status quo is probably going to happen. Capped profit structure stays, investors likely to get huge payouts. UMich gets $2 billion or more. There's going to be moral criticism of fucking why schools are investing so much money, but the entire money pipeline of schools investing in VC remains intact. And regardless of all this, I feel like the trial already did its damage by revealing like how the sausage gets made. Like back in the day when you saw the sausage video with like all the mystery meats that go into hot dogs. That's how it feels right now. With like, damn, I really thought I was paying tuition so another underprivileged kid could go to university, but in reality, I'm paying for it so that some dude in my finance office could use the money and gamble and get paid for it and get fucking 1% success rate. Like, if I got 1% success rate, I would not be here. I would be fucking homeless, probably. But they just have so much money that they can do it. So, I guess the absurdity of all of this is that your university might secretly be one of the biggest AI lottery winners on Earth. And by yours, I mean all of these schools are making these huge ass bets. This one's being revealed, but like, I don't know. The places that are telling you to follow ethics and be morally right are farming your tuition to gamble. I don't know if I fuck with that.